I think today I'm going to talk about how everything's a choice. Everything is a choice. And, this has been true for me, so, it might be true for you. You might relate to this. But, like, everything we do, you have power over. And, you can't go around blaming other people or like society or your parents or, genetics or whatever, hormones. Like, when a fat person says like, oh, I'm just like big boned or, it's just my hormones, and it's just like, oh, like, you shove that food down your mouth, it's your fault, kind of thing. And I think when you blame somebody else like that, it kind of like takes the blame off you, so it makes you feel better, right? But it also makes you lose your like agency, and so you kind of like lose your own power, your own agency to do anything. And it's like, why even try? Like, society sucks. It's like kind of nihilism, right? Like nothing matters in the end. We're just evolved apes on a rock in an ever expanding universe. I think that's like a simplification of nihilism, but it's like definitely kind of like black pill. You can't be black pilled, but just remember that everything is a choice. And like for me, like I've had problems with alcohol. I've had like two DUIs, and luckily I've never killed anybody. Is that what I think it is? I'm sorry, I'm driving, and I do these recordings while I'm in my truck driving, because like these thoughts pop in my head, and it's kind of like a little sound booth. But I know there's like the road noises and the truck noises, and like, but I was like, oh, like what, like, plus I'm getting distracted right now. I think there's some like white people like selling what is it, the Kool-Aid pineapple that's like going on like on social media. But anyways, I got 2 DUIs. I used to go out every weekend. I'd spend like $150 a night. Not $150 a night. I'd say like maybe like 50 to 60 a night. And I'd go out like 3 times a week. And so that comes out to $150 a week, which is what is that, $600 a month just on alcohol, just for me, just alcohol. And not, if there was like a cover and, I'd get fucked up, I'd be hungover, I was driving drunk everywhere. And luckily I didn't kill anybody. Because, like, if you kill somebody while you're drunk driving, like, they'll throw you in jail forever. And it's like, you should have known better kind of thing. And, what is it? I had to have a breathalyzer in my car and everything. And I was still going out and drinking, even though I had a breathalyzer in my car. Like, I would just have to wait until all the alcohol was out of my system before I could drive my car. And, sometimes I would spend the night in my car because I couldn't start it, which you're really not supposed to do. But anyways, and it's just like, all right, I quit drinking for a year, and then, I started drinking again for like 2-3 months, and now I've stopped again. And, that's just like an easy example of like, hey, I made this choice, not to, even though when I quit for a year, I would still go out to the bars, but I just wouldn't buy alcohol. So I wasn't buying alcohol. I wasn't drinking alcohol. I just have like soda or like, carbonated water or whatever. And, so I'm not like one of these, like AA people. Like there's some, I don't know. I don't want this to be like an alcohol video. I'll do one of those later. But like another thing would be, I've always wanted to be lean. Like I like going to the gym, and the problem for me is consistency. Right? I'm not consistent. Like I like going to the gym, but then I would only go like once a week or once a month, or I'd stop going for 2 months, and then all my lifts would drop because I wasn't going consistently. And or I'd be on my diet, and I'd be in a calorie deficit, and I'd just be eating the same thing pretty much every day, just yogurt, eggs, chicken, rice. I'd just be eating that. I'd throw like barbecue or buffalo sauce on the chicken just to mix it up. And but then on the weekend I'd grab a freaking Little Caesars pizza or grab some McDonald's, or I'd stop entirely. Like I'd go out and buy groceries, and then I wouldn't cook. I would just order DoorDash. I'm like, I don't want to cook. I don't want to cook today. And I made that choice, to go spend more money on DoorDash when I already spent some money on my groceries. And it's kind of this video is kind of a reminder to myself that I need to stop doing that shit. Like I quit soda for the longest time. I quit drinking soda for the longest time, and then I had started again, and now I've pretty much stopped. Shout out to carbonated waters, like bubbly, LaCroix. I just switched to that, and that has like zero calories. It's carbonated, has a little flavor on there. It's better than like plain water, and the carbonation like fills you up. You get bloated or whatever, but the bloating will go away. Another thing is like gooning, watching corn. That's your choice. You gotta freaking type in the website and shit, and you just gotta cut that shit out. Freaking cuck behavior. It's bad for your brain. It fucks up like relationships and like how you think about like women, and like if you're just this gooner, you're like, you lose all your testosterone, your freaking, what is it, you're like zinc deficient and all that, because you're gooning all the time. Your energy, your freaking drive, you want to hold on to that. And then like, even just like in life, everything's a choice. Everything, just keep reminding yourself, everything is a choice. And it's like, are you gonna, sit on the couch, this weekend? Are you gonna go out and do what you want to do? And I was reading, The Psychology of Money, reading that right now. And I'll try to like add pictures into the videos. I know I've said it in some of the videos, and I just haven't done it. But yeah, I think I'll get better at editing, and I'll do it. And even clips, I think, I like funny clips, so I'll have to start cutting those. And then somebody asked, like, yo, like, are you playing video games while like driving? And I know know the sound sucks, and I don't even know if the recordings on the games are any good. I need a new PC. My PC is over 10 years old, so I need to save up for that. But everything's a choice, you know, even when it comes to life. You know, are you going to go on that vacation, or are you holding yourself back? And I mentioned the psychology of money because there's like this chapter, and it was like, you know, there's that statistic or whatever about like you only need like enough money, you know, for your needs. Like more money than what you need doesn't actually grant you happiness. And what does grant you happiness is a sense of freedom, right? Being able to do what you want to do, go where you want to go, be, you know, who you want to be with whenever you want. Like freedom is a key to happiness. And so if you're hampering your freedom by like laying down in your bed all depressed, you know, playing video games, all the, you know, the whole, like, I've had mornings where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and then I hop on a video game, and then I just blew like 3-4 hours, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like there just went 3-4 hours. Or I'll get home and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, but let me lay down for a bit, and then, you know, this half-hour nap turns into a 3-hour nap, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I just fucked that up. I chose that. And the thing is, like, it kind of goes into your goals. You know, what are your goals? And you know, if you want to like get out more and touch grass, you gotta make that decision to like around, like where I live, there's like a bunch of hiking trails and stuff, and I don't really like hiking. I like nature. I think nature's cool and stuff, but I don't like, there's people that like have all the gear, and they, you know, there's like those kind of hiker people, and I'm like, yeah, that's not me. Like, I'm not one of those people. I'm hiking in my Vans, you know, like I don't even have like tennis shoes, but what is it? Like, I like nature and stuff. It's a good workout too, but you know, you got to get up and do it. It's one of those things where you got to get up and go. And so, I don't know, maybe that'll be a good exercise and discipline, doing something I don't want to do. Because I'm like, all right, like I hiked to the top of this mountain. Now I got to go all the way back. Cool. Like, the view's not even that good, you know. Like, I don't get paid or whatever to go hike up here. You know. I guess that's just me though. I'm kind of a pessimist, if you can't tell. But I hope for the best, but plan for the worst kind of guy. But that's pretty bad though. You shouldn't be black pilled like that. It's a bad move. It's like like even your mindset. See, like that's a choice too. You know, I used to have like, I mean, I still kind of do, but like horrible, like bad self-talk, like thinking negatively about myself all the time, and you know, like, oh, I'm such a loser, I'll amount to nothing. Like, you can't do that, because like your brain starts believing it and makes it reality, and that shit's real. You know, if you tell a kid, he's like, if you tell a child like, oh, like you're a loser, you know, like, I don't know, you're an idiot, like the child's gonna believe it, you know, kind of deal. And that's why there's stuff like affirmations, where you just kind of positively reinforce yourself, or whatever your goal is. Like my goal is to get lean, so it's like, all right, I'm like, you know, I have a lean attitude. I'm getting fit. I eat clean, you know, and I just kind of think about that stuff all the time. And, you know, like that helped. Like I was in the store yesterday and I made a choice. I was just there to get like eggs and yogurt, and I passed by, it was like a package of dried mango, and I was like, man, I love dried mango. Like, I love it so much. And then it was a big bag too. And I turned it around, and it's like these big kind of like chips of dried mango. And on the bag, it says like three chips, just 3 pieces of this dried mango is 140 calories. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, that's like 15 minutes on the rowing machine. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And that's one way how I think about when it comes to diet. I kind of look at like if it's something extra, I look at the calories and I'm like, shit, dude. Like a soda is 15 minutes on the rowing machine. I'm like, fuck that. But I made a choice. And I think realizing that you have this potential to affect your life, like you feel more in control. And I think I started this video out talking about blaming other people and stuff. When you do that, you're like out of control. Life feels out of control. And that's like one of the worst feelings ever. And it's like hectic, chaotic. I think you start living like an NPC, you know, you're just going with the flow. And, you know, it kind of gets back to the individual, where you have to make a choice. And, like for me, I'm trying to think back, like how things kind of changed. I don't know, I got kind of lucky. Like, right now I'm making good money as an electrician. And, like, I never thought I'd be an electrician. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It just kind of fell in my lap. I'm not, like, good at it. I'm not, like, I don't have a background in it. I don't have any family that's in it or anything. But it's just, like, I was working at the shipyard just, like, as an extra hand during COVID, and my buddy just told me, like, oh, you should apply, it's good money, you know, it's on the job training. I'm like, all right, yeah. Like, he's like, yeah, you got class or whatever, but you know, it's just twice a week. And but yeah, like before that, I worked retail, and I just remember there was like, I forget. Like I get like depressed usually, like every year I get super depressed, like, you know, around the holidays. It's like that seasonal affective depression or whatever. And I think it's like, it's not a weather thing. I think it's just a sunlight thing. Plus, like, I'm freaking a chud. I'm like a chud incel. And I'm like a hopeless romantic, which I got to get over. But trying to bring this back to everything's a choice. Yeah, I'd get depressed or whatever, but I'd get to the point where I'm like, yo, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And, you know, I get like, I kind of like lock in for a little bit. You know, I get back into reading. I love reading. You know, for a minute, I was like reading like 3 books a day. Not 3 books a day. I would read 3 different books in a day. Like, I'd read like a fiction book, then I'd read like a nonfiction book, and then I'd read like a philosophy book or something. Like, I'd read like separate books in one day. So I'd have like I'd have like 3 books in rotation. And it's kind of crazy. I think that's like I don't know if you can focus on 3 books at a time and really gather anything from it. But, I don't know. I think I was just wilding out or whatever. But, trying to think. Oh, let's turn this down. But yeah, just that choice of, sick and tired of being sick and tired kind of thing. I would call out of work all the time. And then that would, that'd affect my paycheck. And I'm like, shit, man, I'm freaking low on money. There's been so many times when I've had $0 in my bank account or negative dollars in my bank account. And I'm a grown man. And it's just like, fuck, dude. Like, what am I doing? And, just buying like stupid shit. Like I'm so bad with money, but I'm trying to change that. I see like I have like, $300, $400 in my bank account, and then I just go out and spend it all before my next paycheck. And it's like, bro, I could have saved that. And, I need to save it because I think I'm going to move out of California. I want to pay off my truck before I move anywhere, though. Guess I'm just not good with delayed gratification. And it's just like, oh man, that seems so far away. Like, But hey, everything's a choice. These little daily choices of ours, affect our weeks, our months, and they shape who you are. And, you got to kind of embody what you want to become. I don't know. It's just like, you got to have that attitude going in. I don't know. It's, I think that's all I got right now for, just making good decisions, kind of bring it back to drinking, just tired of, the hangovers. They get worse when you get older. If I get another DUI, they'll probably take my license. I'll go to jail for 6 months for sure. I'm wasting all my money on alcohol. I've been doing that for years. And then every drink too, it kind of goes against my lean goal. It's freaking 300 calories a drink, and I'm drinking 3 of them a night. Just an extra 900,000 calories a night. Every time I go out, it's like, man. But, video games, if you spend too much time on video games, like, cut it down a bit. Like I'd play hours. Like I got into, Kenshi, played Kenshi for, I don't know, I was on there for like 2 months, just playing Kenshi, which is, it's like an open world, I don't know what to call it, RPG, I guess, I don't know. I just get sucked in, or it's another game like that where I get sucked in. Age of Empires was like that. Got sucked in. You can play like ranked online, which is pretty cool. But I'm wasting hours. But I guess I just don't know what to do with my time is the problem. I've just been going to the gym after work, and that pretty much sucks all my time now. Because I'll get home at like 4:30. I could probably get to the gym at like 5. And then, I lift, and then I walk for like 30, and then I like sitting in the sauna afterwards for some recovery, and like that's like 2 hours pretty much. And I get home, shower, kind of unwind, and then I go to bed, wake up for the next day. But yeah, just gotta make good choices, healthy choices. If you want to be a fat slob, be a fat slob or whatever. But I know that's like, it'll change your life if you're fit. For me, it's not that crazy of a switch for me. I'm like okay. I'm not I'm not like your average guy that's like 30% body fat, but I'm a little lower. I've been, working out my entire life, but I've just never been consistent with it. And so I kind of have like a base, but I'm not that strong, and I'm not that big. So, and yeah, with money, it's just like I just do stupid shit with money. And like recently, I just bought like $200 worth of $200 worth of freaking clothes, and then we call it. I bought another $200 worth of like pants, but I returned that. I should have returned the other shit too, but it's bad choices, just bad choices. And then recently I went kind of ham on because I want to build my forearms. And like, what did I do? I got like the big forearm grips or whatever for your dumbbells. I got there's like that forearm kind of, it's like a rope that's attached to, like you kind of wind it up with a weight on the end of the rope. I got that a long time ago. I was thinking about growing out my beard. Like, I don't know, it's just like stupid shit. I just was wasting my money. And the thing is, if you're like that, you have to look at your bank statement and just like look at all the stupid shit you've bought in the past month. Like, go back to like, it's like June right now. So like, go back to May and look at every single purchase. And like, for me, it'll be like DoorDash, 7-Eleven, Amazon, DoorDash. And it's like, fuck, dude. McDonald's. And it's like, oh man. Like, all those DoorDashes and McDonald's it's money, and, it's just like keeping me fat kind of thing. And, you got to keep yourself accountable and, live in this image, have this self-image where, set a standard for yourself and realize that, the new me doesn't do that kind of shit. Like, the new me doesn't waste, what is it? Like $30-$40 on DoorDash. The new me doesn't eat goy slop. The new me doesn't, spend money on bullshit. The new me goes to bed at a good time. The new me doesn't look at corn or, goon all the time. The new me doesn't, gesture max for girls. The new me doesn't give a fuck about girls. The new me doesn't drink. The new me doesn't drink and drive. But I think that's gonna be it. This video is kind of long. If you made it this far, thanks. Oh no, I might start recording these like in my room when it's quieter, with like an actual microphone or something. We'll see. And yeah, You know, leave a like if you liked it. Leave a comment, you know, if you can relate to this, or, you know, how I think people feel that whole I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's like, hey, like, no one's coming to rescue you except you. And it all begins with your choices. You know, going to bed early, waking up early, going to the gym. It's like that stupid saying, like, discipline sets you free. Discipline sets you free because, like, you're finally in control. You're not going with the flow. You're not on all these, like, whims. This kind of goes with, like, I guess, boundaries or whatever. You know, being able to say no to people. I don't know. I don't even know, like, the freaking boundaries thing. It's like, oh, like, you know, you say yes to people all the time, or, you know, to your, what is it called? To your detriment. You know, like, do you really want to go out to the bar crawl? And it's like, well, I kind of want to hang out with, you know, my friends, you know, but, yeah. All right. Let me know if you, related to this, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. But yeah, see you in the next video.